This here is Phydeau's Flying Flea Circus of Faith, the one and only genuine flea circus in the entire state of Pennsylvania, and very definitely the only flea circus that is going to see here this fine afternoon. Now, the show is absolutely free, non-habit-forming, and guaranteed to restore funny bones. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have never had the opportunity of witnessing a genuine flea circus, do not let this opportunity pass you by. Genuine acrobatically trained fleas willing to risk the very life and limb for your education, education, and entertainment. Showtime in about 30 seconds, or whenever the music stops. Dogs are perfectly welcome at Phydeau's Flying Flea Circus, sir. We're always looking for brand new talent. The rope is the edge of my stage. Now, folks, my performers are very, very tiny, so I would suggest, for the optimum viewing opportunity, that you get as close to this yellow rope as possible. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this yellow rope serves two very important purposes. Number one, this is the demarcation line for the splash zone, as well as the itch zone. Because although my fleas have been trained in great feats of strength and acrobatic agility, they got a dirty little secret. They're vampires. Yes, young man, they live on human blood. However, this hero has been treated with a special odoriferous compound that is obnoxious to the nostrils of the flea. So as long as you'll promise to stay on that side of the rope, why, my fleas promise to stay on this side of the rope. And I promise you, man, none of my performers will go home on your person. And I'm sure your family will be very glad to hear that. So without any further ado, let's start our show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and high-flying flea fans of all ages, presented for your education, edification, and entertainment, Phydeau's Flying Flea Circus of Fate! Yes, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for that thunderous applause, having just returned from performing before the very crowned heads of Europe, and sometimes even on the crowned heads of Europe. We have genuine acrobatically trained fleas willing to risk the very life and limb for your education, edification, and entertainment. Now, the flea, ladies and gentlemen, is among God's most unique creations. As a matter of fact, young man, did you know that a flea can jump about that far? Now, I can see you just bowled over by that fact, so let's put it in this context. Ladies and gentlemen, if a flea were the size of a grown man, why, that flea would be capable of leaping over the Empire State Building with room to spare several hundred times per hour and not get tired. If a flea were the size of a small child, why, that flea would be able to stand at one end of a football field and in one leap more than the entire length of that football field. Such is the strength contained in their tiny little legs. Well, I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen, fleas that do more than just crawl and jump. These are acrobatically trained fleas. Now, folks, I'd like to first draw your attention to this beautiful red balloon. No, sir, you are not seeing things. That is a tiny gondola suspended underneath this beautiful red balloon. And in just one moment, folks, I'm going to bring out the first star of my show. His name is Jacques Fleac. Now, Jacques Fleac is the current world record holder for a high dive by a flea from a tethered balloon. Now, kids, Jacques was originally trained as a cannon flea. And as such, he was fired out of a cannon on a daily basis, and as a result, he has suffered a tremendous amount of hearing loss. Folks, he is deaf as a doorknob. Now, he doesn't like to let on that he can't hear too well, so I'd really appreciate it, kids, if you kind of help me out by counting with me as loudly as possible. 1, 2, 3. Let's practice up as loud as you can. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now, when I bring Jacques out, don't let on that we have this conversation. He'll think it's me doing the counting. He'll never know the difference. Okay, that's just our secret. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you the first star of our show. His name is Jacques Fleac. He hails from Montreal, Canada. He is the current world record holder for a high dive by a flea from a tethered balloon. Now, don't be concerned, ma'am. He can compensate for the direction of the wind. Now, folks, let's give a big round of applause for Jacques Fleac. Yes, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for that thunderous applause. Now, I'm going to place Jacques in this tiny basket. And on the count of 3, Jacques will perform his world-famous high dive of death. The equivalent, ladies and gentlemen, of a 100-story drop from this tiny basket into this pool of water below. Now, don't be concerned, ma'am. He can compensate for the direction of the wind. However, sir, if you happen to have a weak heart, or ma'am, if prone to the vapors, you may want to avert your eyes temporarily. Now, folks, although Jacques can compensate for the direction of the wind, the balloon cannot. So I'm going to have to stabilize the balloon. And on the count of 3, Jacques will perform his world-famous high dive of death without a net. Blindfolded. All right, Jacques, are you ready? He is ready. Now, folks, keep your eye on that flea and count with me as loudly as you can. Here we go, Jacques. 1, 2, 3. Let's hear it for Jacques Flea, the world's most famous high diving flea. Yes.